This is one of the favorite benches I spotted in the last weeks with a beautiful row of palm trees. Back then I already knew who I had on my bench, and I'm here joined by Ellen. It's my fellow Dutchie. It's the first Dutch person I meet here in Valencia, and I'm happy that you had time to, spend some time with me on a public bench. We're here at Park Centraal, and as you all see, guys, I'm still here. This is going to be my last week before I go, so scoop in one last interview before I go, without wearing a jacket, just in a t-shirt. I'm gonna love this all the way through. For those who don't know the channel, it's about life and about the place you live in. And we've had numerous conversations, and this is going to be number 25. Ellen, could you tell us a bit who you are, where you're from, and what you do in Valencia?
Yes, I can tell you a little bit. Yes, my name is Ellen. I am 31 years old. I am from Rijsbergen. It's a very small village close to Breda, from the Netherlands, the south of the Netherlands.
I didn't even know it.
No, it's really, really small. Some people know it because it's on the signs of the highway. Okay. I grew up on a strawberry farm with 3 brothers and sisters, and I always felt the need to live in another place, to live abroad, and I fell in love with Spain from early 20s, I think, when I went for the first time to Spain.
Okay.
And in 2021 I decided to move here, and since then I live and work here in Valencia.
And the most logical question is, are you having a good time so far?
Absolutely, I'm loving it.
It's a question I already asked you, but what, you're gonna stay here forever?
For at this moment, I think yes. It's difficult to say never. I think. Well, for me it's difficult, but at this moment, I don't think I will ever leave Spain.
And how made you make you the decision to choose Valencia? Because there are many different Spanish cities to choose from. Did you do some research, or how did you get to Valencia?
I think that Valencia chose me, and not that I chose Valencia.
Nice.
As I told you before, I did my Erasmus abroad in Madrid, so I lived there for 6 months, and that was the moment I decided that at some day I'm gonna move to Spain. And I really loved Madrid, but I missed the ocean and the beach. It gets super hot in Spain, and over there I felt a bit trapped in the city during summer. And when the moment was finally there that I was making the step to move to Spain, or when I was thinking about moving to Spain, I didn't really research. I just thought Barcelona was going to be the obvious choice, and that there was going to be some opportunities for jobs, because I didn't speak Spanish back then. And then a friend of mine told me about Verrassend Valencia. It's a Dutch company in Valencia. I'd never heard of it, so I looked it up, and like 2 days before that they posted a vacancy of marketing that I was working in. So I wrote an email.
Lucky you.
Yeah. I wrote an email and they responded super fast. We had the job interview super fast, and a month later I was in the plane, left everything behind. It felt a bit because it went so fast, and I didn't have to do any other job interviews, or I didn't research. I just sent one email.
Wow.
And then a month later I was in the plane, and I was even thinking in the plane, because I also didn't really have time about it after that to think about it, so it also felt a little bit rushed and not thought through.
Okay.
Because
almost
it went
like
so
impulsive.
fast. Yeah, it felt a bit impulsive, even though I knew I wanted it, but just because it went so fast. But then everything, when I came here, everything just fell into place, and I think it was just... Yeah,
You had been before to Valencia?
Yes.
Yeah. So you knew the city a little bit?
Yeah. Well, when I came here, I didn't remember anything of when I was here before, but it just... Yeah, Valencia has something, and it just felt super good to be here.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's funny how many people like have to send 100 applications to
Yeah.
get a job.
It's
And
really crazy.
you only send one email and it's bingo.
Yeah.
Wow. Um, and those job interviews were only done online, so they didn't meet you in person at all.
No, and that's another funny story because I sent the job interview and I made a short video of myself.
Mm.
And my boss here, she's a super enthusiast, energetic woman, and she saw. I know now this story. She saw the video, and I think by then I was already hired. So the job interview was only 30 minutes. She almost didn't ask me any questions. She just explained everything about the job, and then 2 hours later, I got an email that I was hired. So it was really, yeah, super fast and yeah.
And within what time frame did you have to move?
Yeah, within a month
Oh wow.
of
Okay, wow.
the yeah, and I still had a job in the Netherlands. I had a house in the Netherlands.
Okay.
So now when I hear people saying, "Yeah, I'm thinking about moving abroad in 1 year," and for me it was all within a month. Well, the idea had been in my head for years, but
Yeah.
it never got
Yeah.
concrete until then, and then it went super fast.
Yeah, because that email to Verrassend Valencia was the first, well, risky step to take for you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 How did that feel when you, oh, when that you sent that first application? You were like, am I gonna, let's see what happens, or being very anticipated about it, or what was the feeling behind it?
Back then, I wasn't really nervous yet. Also because it was the first application, so I didn't really feel close to. It was just the start of my process of maybe moving to Spain.
So when did you realize you actually moved? When you came out of the bubble.
It was well, I did the when I was invited for the job interview. The job interview was going to be on my holidays. I went camping with my sister, and the job interview was going to be from there. And I was a bit nervous before, but it was on the beginning of the holiday, so I thought I'll do the interview, and then it will be a while before I get an answer, so that I can relax during the holidays. But then I already got the email 2 hours afterwards, and then I could feel when I got the email and I wrote back that I wanted the job, then I could feel like, oh my God, it's happening, and I did not enjoy. Well, the holiday was good, but I was super nervous and emotional because of the things that were gonna change and because it went so fast, and yeah.
And that was, of course, during COVID as well.
Yes, that was summer 2021.
Yeah. Yeah. Life-changing events.
Absolutely.
And tell us a bit about Verrassend Valencia, because what does the company do you work for?
Yeah, so it's a Dutch company for tourists, and
Okay.
we have bicycles, of course, because the Dutch people love the bicycles. And also, Valencia is a perfect city to bike around. Did you use a bike as
Nope.
well? No.
Yeah, well, not this time around. Last
Okay.
time around, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how did you get around now?
Walk.
Uh,
Yeah, we have a kiddo, so it's a bit harder to rent a bicycle.
we have seats for that, but for
Okay.
the next time.
I meet you in the last week of our stay. Next time. Next time.
Yes, but our company, we have bicycles and we import them from the Netherlands, so it's decent.
Material. Yeah.
Decent Dutch quality bicycles. And besides that, we also do bike tours. So with a Dutch tour guide who shows you around the city, which is usually a good start of your trip to Valencia.
I noticed when standing at Merca Colón that I think in a time frame of 5 minutes, there's like a new group of people, of Dutch people coming in with a tour guide.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of the favorite stops at Merca Colón. Yeah.
It's a
Cool.
it's a good spot to stop, and there you can tell something about.
But I can imagine it's also very, starting to work for a Dutch company. It's also feels also like a very comfortable way of landing in a city, right?
Absolutely. When I moved, it was super comfortable because you arrive to a country alone. You don't speak the language, so then it's very nice if you meet people immediately that speak your language, that know your culture. If you can call our culture a culture. So it's super comfortable, and also because you need to arrange a lot of things still when you come here, so that you can get help in a language that you understand. Because if you go to the offices here to get stuff done and you don't speak the language, it's
Habla
super
inglés? No.
no.
Habla inglés? No.
It still blows my mind that the immigration office people, there in the immigration office, there's not one single person there that speaks English.
Wow.
It's really, they make it really hard to arrange stuff here.
I mean, you can accept the fact that it's not a given that everybody speaks English, which is okay. But at least at the immigration office, right?
Yeah, you would think that at least there's one person there that speaks English, but just nobody.
He's the most busiest person in the office, I think.
No, but there is no one. No, the first time I went there, they sent me away and they said, come back with somebody who speaks Spanish. So then I came back the second time, brought a person who spoke Spanish, and then they told me, no, you can only go in here yourself, just one person. No,
Okay,
this person stays with me.
Can I bring my walkie-talkie?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, but still you managed.
Yes.
And it was easy to land in the city, I think, through, maybe, your colleagues feel like your new family, whenever. Yeah. Did you also experience it like that they were your new family, or, if in good times, in bad times, like, how was it easy for you to connect with people in Valencia?
Yeah, I think the first real connection I felt was with my coworkers. Also because I think that's nice about the people that you meet when you live abroad, because it's all people that consciously chose this place to live in. So you have that in common. Well, I'm talking because my friends are all expats who moved here as well. It's a bit more difficult to become friends really with locals. That's my experience at least. So it's all people who chose this city to live in. So you share that love for the city, and also you share the experience of leaving everything behind and start over in a new city.
Yeah. Have you noticed what are the most important topics you discuss with them, or things that you miss? Or you miss anything? It is also possible.
Well, I think that's a different answer for. I think the topics I talk about with my friends are the same topics, like life and and the struggles and the beautiful things. And I think each one from different countries, because a lot of my friends are from different countries. We all have our own things that we miss from our own country, and but it's not necessarily the same thing.
No. Okay. So you meet a lot of international people as well here, not only Dutch.
No. That was one thing when I came here and I was gonna work for a Dutch company. I thought, I'm not gonna live with Dutch people. I'm not gonna be friends with Dutch, at least from the start. That was because I was a little bit afraid that I would come here, work for a Dutch company, have Dutch friends, only speak in Dutch, and that would, I wanted my experience to be a bit more broad than that. So
proper international experience.
Yes.
Okay.
So I had my comfort in the job where I had the Dutch people, but then other than that, I found a roommate. She was Italian, and through her I met a lot of people from all over the world, basically.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
And she's still your roommate?
No, I moved in. Well, I lived with her for 2.5 years, but this month, the 1st of March, I moved in with my boyfriend.
International?
Yes.
Or Dutch?
No. No, he's
Spanish?
Argentinian.
Ooh, close.
Yes, close.
So, but you speak Spanish with each other?
Yes, most of the times, yes. Yeah, we mostly speak Spanish. He wants to improve his English, so we also sometimes speak
That's a shame.
English. Yeah, it is a bit of a shame, but good for him.
Yeah, good for
And when I'm or tired or angry, then I speak English.
Okay.
And then he
When I'm
usually
tired or
responds
angry,
in,
yes.
in fights sometimes are in different, like in two different languages.
Oh wow. So then the one starts. You speak. You speak Dutch and he speaks Argentinian.
Yeah, that maybe should be good because then he doesn't understand what I'm saying. I can say whatever I want.
Okay, nice, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting that you, whenever you fight, what kind of language you then use.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, quite a milestone. Huh? You moved here in 2021, and now we're in 2024, and you're already moving in with your boyfriend in Valencia.
Yes. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's some pretty interesting and exciting milestones in life in Valencia.
Life in general.
Life, yeah, that's true. Moving in together is always quite a milestone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. What? Because that also changes then your position here in Valencia. It's not like you're gonna move back to the Netherlands or somewhere else maybe next year, right? Because it's when you have a relationship, you have a nice job, you feel pretty settled. No need to go anywhere else.
No, I don't see myself going
Anywhere.
anywhere. No.
Very good.
No, I mean you've experienced the city. It's
Yeah, but we
It's
talked
such a
about
good-
restlessness, right?
yeah.
Being restless.
Yeah.
That we are both people that are restless.
Yes.
But have you noticed that this restlessness has gone away a bit?
Yeah, I did.
Hmm.
And before that, I tried in the Netherlands. I tried a lot of different things to get rid of the restlessness. At some point, I was living in Breda, and I thought maybe I need to move to a bigger city in the Netherlands, and then things will go better. So I moved to Rotterdam, but it didn't go away. And then when I made the step to move to Valencia, so far maybe it will come back at some point, but so far here I feel at my
Mhm.
place,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm generally speaking just in a very good place of my life right now. I always find it a little bit scary to say out loud, so I'm gonna knock.
Are you in a good place, Ellen?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I am.
But if this is a bit more of like a deeper question, is right? You didn't find it in Rotterdam, you didn't find it in Breda, but you did find it here. It takes away your restlessness, and you say you're in a good place. What are the elements there that solve that?
Well, I already knew this a little bit, but I found it out even more. Is that my mood is very dependent on the weather that
Okay.
I'm in.
Okay.
I'm a sun person, and that is hard. It's hard. That life is difficult in the Netherlands if you're a sun. I'm talking a little bit. It's also a little bit of a joke how I talk about the Netherlands. I also love it, and there is absolutely things about the Netherlands that I miss. But the weather is it's tough to find. Now let's say it this way: over here in Valencia, the sun is out. I think it's 300 days a year, and it just when you wake up and you open your curtains and you see blue sky, it's for me a very different start of the day as when I open the curtains and the sky is grey, it's raining. So that's I think the number one factor of what.
Yeah. Can I
gives me
add to that?
happiness?
Because
Yes.
a lot of people start talking, of course, about the weather, but I like that you touch upon the mood that the weather would, the mood that you get from the weather, because that's the more the emotional part
Yeah.
of it. Because everybody can say, yeah, sure, everybody wants to have sunshine in his life. No, but your body, you as a person
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
respond differently to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. And
Yeah.
I think that's different with people because, for example, when I see my mother, she also really likes the gray days, and then she puts the...
She gets a good mood from the rain.
No, but she
and the
does
cold.
get a good mood from being then inside and put on
Yeah.
the what's it called, the fireplace.
Yeah. Cozy.
Cozy
Yeah.
inside, and I really need sunlight at least once a week, and preferably even more.
So once a week.
Yeah, and it's just, as I said, my day starts so differently when I open the curtains and see the blue sky, and then it's immediately, it feels, it just feels good, and I start the day happy.
Are you also more outside?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I think also in the Netherlands, when with the sunny days, I was out a lot more than.
Yeah.
I think generally you're just outside, and life here as well is a lot more outside.
Yeah.
Because there's always, if you walk around here all year long, there's people on terraces and on the beach and in the parks.
And I love it when you see kids being out late.
Yeah.
Whereas in the Netherlands they are in bed by 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And here the niños and niñas are still everywhere.
Yeah. That's also a huge difference.
So the weather was part 1.
Yeah. And the second part, I think, is the mentality
Okay.
that the Spanish people have, in my eyes, is that they are more focused. Well, I always explain it like this. In what I'm used to is what I used to be used to is that we live to work, and here they work to live. So you do your job, and you make money so that you can do all the fun stuff in your time off.
Yeah.
So it's also less focused on your career and on getting higher and higher and higher, and work your ass off and work so much and then enjoy so little.
Yeah.
And I think life is about the part that happens. Well, your job is of course important, and it needs to be also, you need to have some fun at least there, because you spend a lot of time.
Yeah.
But I think life is also a lot about what happens outside work, and just your life and living your life, and not living for your career and your job. And I think that's that part they understood very well here.
Yeah. And then, since you have a lot of international friends, you also notice not only the Spanish but also the international people that you surround yourself with have that kind of mindset?
That's a good question. Let me think about that. I think yes, or at least the part where they want to enjoy life as much as possible.
Yeah. Would you say more day to day and less future oriented?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, big time. Yeah.
That was something you notice with yourself as well?
But it's funny because I think in the Netherlands, with some friends that wanted to organize something and then would ask me to do something in 3 weeks, and then I would always feel a little bit like, but I don't. In 3 weeks, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's very far away. But now with my Argentinian boyfriends, just one.
We're not gonna cut that. We're not gonna cut that out of the interview.
One boyfriend.
You got something to explain at home. Yeah.
He's the complete opposite, and then I noticed that I do sometimes enjoy to, but not in 2 weeks. But I think on Wednesday or Thursday I want to know a little bit what my weekend is gonna look like.
Okay.
And for him that's like early, very early. For him it's on Saturday afternoon. Maybe there will be a plan for the evening.
Wow. It's funny because they always say about the Dutch and their agendas, especially the international people I know in the Netherlands. They're always like, the Dutch and their agendas. But there's even there are levels to it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
If I listen to
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
boyfriend's agenda,
Yeah.
does he have one?
No, absolutely not. No, and so next to in the Netherlands, I always felt like the one who couldn't organize, but next to him, I feel so with an agenda because yeah, I need some. I
Imagine,
don't know.
imagine when you bring him to the Netherlands one day, or maybe you have already. When the things need to be planned.
But yeah, I did. But the good thing is that he didn't have any plans, so I just had everything planned. And then in the morning, I could tell him today, at 11 we're having a coffee there, and then at 12:30 we're having lunch, and then at 2 we have some fun during. No, yeah, but then
Poor
he
guy.
didn't. Yeah, yeah,
He needs a holiday from the holiday.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, probably.
Yeah. I like that. I like the. Did you have a part 3, or was it only 1.1 and point 2?
2, yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah,
No, I like that. Those kind of two things. That how the weather affects your mood and how you feel in a daily base throughout the week, throughout the month. Very
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
important. Throughout the seasons.
yeah,
And same as the mindset of living, in the moment. And I think it's also good that you have that counterpart,
yeah, absolutely. I
you
think,
know,
I think
of
so
of
too.
somebody who's from a completely different culture.
Yeah,
Because you cheekily said something about the Dutch culture. Well, where if we would have some culture, ouch.
no,
Versus, of course, culture when it comes in Spain or can imagine Argentina. That's completely different. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have to find a middle way
yeah,
in,
yeah, yeah,
in,
yeah.
in doing all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this place, Valencia, is a great place to get around. What is missing here for you? Or is there nothing missing?
I think it is the ability to see my best friends and family on a daily or weekly base. That's
Yeah.
the only thing that I find that can be difficult, even though it's not far, the Netherlands, and there's I think 10 flights
Yeah, a lot.
every day.
Yeah.
But not if you're if you're having a tough time with something and you want to, yeah, talk to your best friend or
Sure.
your sister or your mother, and of course there's video calls and phone calls, but it's different.
Yeah.
Than
The hug feels also very different.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a
Bit-
bit sad to hug your phone.
Hug your shoulder, hug your phone. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's the main thing. Yeah.
Do you because we're heading towards the end of this conversation. Is there something that you would tell anyone else who's thinking about moving to Valencia or moving to Spain? Doesn't have to be a Dutchie, can be anyone. Is there something you like to share with that person on record? Because I always like to close off with some sort of inspiration. It doesn't have to be the wisdom of life, but maybe something more practical. You can think about it for a second. I'm gonna thank everyone watching. Please subscribe and like and follow, because that would mean the world and boosts our channel. And you can find us on YouTube, seeing us live, on Spotify if you just want to listen to our voices, our radio voices, on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. And if you have any ideas on who should be next on the public bench, could be in any city, whatever, just reach out to me. And can't promise anything, but I'm happy to speak to that person. So Ellen, before I start to thank you for your time and this wonderful place, very happy for you that you found your spot here in Valencia. what kind of learning would you like to share with anyone that's listening?
I think for me, it would be that the step is not as big as you imagine, and it's not as difficult as you imagine. If you just take it step by step, it's not. Don't make a bigger thing out of it than it is. And also, if you don't like it, you can always go back to how things were and where you were.
Rijsbergen.
Rijsbergen.
Yeah.
Never forget where you came from.
Rijsbergen. The hood. No, that's true. Thank you for that advice. Maybe people need to start sending that first one email,
Right? I think so too.
and we'll
No,
see.
I think because a lot of people told me like, oh my god, it's such a big step, but I don't think it is a big step if you just take it step by step. You come here and with the thought that it's nothing has to be forever, so you can just try it out and come back if you don't like it.
Dankjewel. Thank you. Bye bye, guys. See you. Ciao.